everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the New York Giants. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the New York Giants. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, you take a look at this Giants ball club. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, they've certainly found their groove of late, winners of 5 in a row.
And I think the sky's the limit for this team. They're playing the best football that they've played in a long time.
Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
Used to have a coach who tells us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. A look now at the defensive starters for the Cardinals. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defensive coordinator about their performance last week because his feeling was good, solid performance, did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win. They definitely would like to see some improvement in this week's game.
They always want improvement, don't they?
They certainly do.
Give them 18 there, and the Giants have a first down.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air, and sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. A first down carry for Barkley. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Now on 2nd and 13. Bridgewater. That's complete to Slayton. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater. Montez Sweat in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line. Play fake. Murray. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Monte Nicholson picks it, and they're going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot defensively. How do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on first down, but unable to do much from there. You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball's moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Now this one to his running back out of the backfield. 7 yards on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona first. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down, it's Murray. The pass complete to Hakeem Butler. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
First down, Murray. Finds his big tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Almost not fair. The big guy running the corner route, being able to lean and push and get to where he wants.
So how do you stop it?
A lot of times you want to have a linebacker on him, a bigger body guy who can handle him physically. But a lot of times that doesn't work as well because his quickness often wins the route.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 16 yards there, and it's a Cardinals first down as well. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Christian Kirk, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. New York set to take the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
It's a gain of 11 and a giant first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 19 carries, 84 yards, and a touchdown.
And when you put the ball in the end zone 13 times on the season, one thing is apparent. You didn't do it all on your own. Offensive line is creating some nice space for you, and you're probably getting some good blocks downfield from your wide receivers.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. From the 38, Bridgewater, and his throw is incomplete. He was trying to get it to T.J. Jones that time, and now it's 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The Giants on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Play fake, Bridgewater. Oh, trying to fit it into Shepard, but it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47, and he'll bring this one back to the 29.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon, so that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips, and this one winds up getting intercepted.
Now a handoff looking right. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. Coming into the week, he's the NFL's leader in receiving yards. There's his first catch, and it's good for a first down. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Five in the secondary now for the Giants here on 3rd. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
On 4th down, here's Zane Gonzalez for the Cardinal field goal. And Gonzalez puts this one through. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
We got this.
Getting set to go here, Teddy Bridgewater and company marches back onto the field. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
A throw left side to start the drive is complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. That one good for 26 and a first down.
Let's go.
Got to give a nod of appreciation to some of those guys up front over on that left side. Several key blocks sprung him.
No appreciation for the guys from the backside that didn't allow any leakage and anybody could run him down from the backside.
They're at the kids' table.
Okay, so front side guys beat backside guys.
Man,
that's what you're supposed to do.
I've had better.
Okay, either way, worked out quite well, didn't it? A nice sizable gain.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football. We just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
10 yards, good for a Giant first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And again, it's Bridgewater. Finds his tight end, Ingram. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 10 yards, good for a Giant first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and put the down marker back to 1.
A first down carry for Barkley won't lead to much as he'll take this forward for maybe a yard. It's second down. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on third. Throwing, Bridgewater, and that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And his kick is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target, and it's third down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield, but that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Throwing is Murray on third down. Escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete.
Appeared to me he was just trying to find an open receiver and got forced out to his right. Had to come off of a guy downfield, trying to hit his back. Unable to connect. Should have been an easier throw moving to his right, though.
Yeah, much easier, obviously, for a right-handed quarterback. If he was going to his left, a little bit tougher.
Exactly.
12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. And the Giants ready to come out now. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Check. Watch the D4. Let's get it.
Throwing again on second down. Bridgewater. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts. as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. And the Giants send out their punter now as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. To throw again on second down. Murray trying for Cooper again. This time he finds him. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. Murray now on first down. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Play action. Now it's Murray. Open man is Kirk, complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 32-yard line. Murray now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's first and 10 here.
He's checking.
Now Murray off play action. He'll let this go for the end zone. That'll be incomplete with 9 seconds now showing on the clock. Here's second and 10 now from about the 32. On play action, it's Murray. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Christian Kirk, the man he was looking for, and it'll bring up third down. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at third and 10. And they're out of timeouts, remember, so this is going to have to be a delay.
Offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5.
Still third down.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. This from 54 yards away. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll sit, due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. This is taken at his 4. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on Here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll give it here to his running back. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona first.
Here we go. Here we go.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And to give this time to the tailback. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. It's a gain of 35.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So 3 plays, already first and goal, and they are wasting little time. Shotgun now from Murray. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Cooper was the intended target, but it'll be second and goal.
They may be snapping the ball near the goal line, but all you're thinking defensively, keep them out of the end zone. Force the incompletion, force them into going for 3, and not giving up 6.
And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. Christian Kirk, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Cardinals push further out in front. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what. Well, those first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. To throw, Bridgewater. It's hauled in by Shepard. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
And the Giants send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. On the return is Williams. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position end up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
Holding offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
Now Murray throwing on second down. That's going to be caught by Kirk. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona first.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Murray now to throw. That is caught inside the 5. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all...
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Kareem Hunt, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals push further out in front. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with third down looming. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Cardinals. Talk about flipping the script. That punt return 86 yards as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Offense.
So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. This is Barkley. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the second half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
It's a loss of 7. And now it's 3rd down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Watch the run, watch the run.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Back near the goal line, Bridgewater. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And here now the offense heading back out there. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. They fake the handoff. Now Murray. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
Now Murray looking deep in the direction of, and this will be caught at the 30.
That's it, baby.
Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles, that certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. They moved the ball over 50 yards between this play and the last one.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. Open man completes it to Butler. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. On 2nd and a couple. Murray. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Leonard Williams, the former number 6 overall pick, got the sack that time.
But enough takes to start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Play fake. Murray. Flush to his right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
I like the play call. Roll him out. Give him a chance to run it or throw it. In this situation, he decided to fling it, but couldn't find his man open.
And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. As the Giants head back out there, let's take a look at the playoff picture in the NFC. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
17 yards and a giant first down.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now throwing on first down and completing it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. It's a giant first down on a gain of 16. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
To the air again with Bridgewater. They'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards, good for a giant first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And that is caught. Well, they're going to see this one to the end. They get a score, but pretty much an exercise in futility right now. Still down big. Yeah, he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. You know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
A gain of 10, first down, Arizona.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And down he goes at the 49, a 3-yard pickup.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he'll get it down here to the 43.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. On 2nd and 11 now. Murray. There goes a deep ball. End zone. And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
I'll guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points from me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
So we had action to the very end of this one. The score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end. And, you know, some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time. And they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for the